誰にもわからない。皆は僕をダメなやつと思う。鏡を見つめる僕を見下げているけど、中には大きな力希望がある。 Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I've become. Can't you see it in my face? A demon living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape. You can't escape. No one understood the world that I was making. Look me in the face and tell me I was faking. Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I've become. Can't you see it in my face? A demon living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. Of course this isn't working yet. Hold up. It can't stay consistent whenever I relaunch it. Here we go. Welcome back. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend. One thing I want to check just before we get started, because I did some grinding over the weekend. I didn't get much. I finished up Iron Jugulus. It is completely finished now. All natures, shiny variants, all that. Okay, I'm just going to grab these before I forget. And then we'll get started on the tier list. Actually forget where Alola is. There it is. So that's one. Cutiefly's right in here. There it is. And the last one is Gossifleur, which I believe is a Gen 9 grass. Was it not Gen 9? Nope, Gen 8. My bad. Alright. Starting a Nuzlocke, do you have a Pokemon you want to be? No, I'm good, Cascade. Thank you, though. Alright. Let's get started with the ground types. This is our 5th tier list already? Holy crap, it is. Alright. 5th tier list. That's a lot. Okay. Well, we're going to be starting with Sandshrew. I am only going to be focusing on Kanto Sandshrew. We won't be worrying about Alolan Sandshrew, because that is not a ground type. Boop. Let's head down to here. Cool. Alright, stats aren't anything insane. Good defense, usable attack. Its special bulk isn't great, and its speed also isn't great, but these aren't awful. Sandveil is cool if you get a Sandstorm up. Sandrush is great if you have a Sandstorm up. Tough Claws is good just in general. So this guy you obviously kind of want over. Oh, something I need to work on doing. He costs 2. Just something to keep in mind. High horsepower, good stab move. I don't think you'd really struggle with ground type moves anyway, but we'll see. Dire Claw, I love this move. Just a chance for secondary effects on hit as in addition to being like a strong move. Also covers grass types for you. Shore Up, I'm not sure he quite has the bulk to really take advantage of Shore Up after the first, like, say 50 floors or so. But if you can, it's a helpful move. Just anything that heals you on your own is nice. Mighty Cleave, I've talked about. It's a strong, hard-hitting move, especially against the flying types that are immune to your ground type moves. 95 power, 100% accurate, only 5 power points, which kind of sucks. I'd rather have Stone Axe, but that's different. It might also be me. Although I'm not getting anything. Yeah, I'm not being told there's any lag. Yeah. We go through the level moves. This guy evolves at level 22, which is pretty low. You might be able to get it before the 25 fight, I think, if you get some rare candies early in the 20s. Poison Sting is kind of meh. Crush Claw is cool. Bulldoze hits everything, but does lower speed. If you have something with Earth Eater, or like to heal yourself, or Levitate to ignore it completely, that'll be nice. It gets Sword Stance through level up. Sword Stance and Gyro Ball are both kind of nice to have. Gyro Ball is not huge, because, like, you do have 65 base speed, which isn't good, but it's not, like, low enough for you to really take advantage of Gyro Ball. But he also gets Sword Stance and Earthquake just through level up, both of which are really, really nice. In here, you also get, nope, sorry, I thought it was in there. It's a generic ground-type Pokemon that doesn't do anything great and really wants the Sandstorm to really take off. Like, there's not really a time I'm excited to use Sandslash over some of the other things. Let me look. Askin. Is anyone else having that issue? I'll keep an eye on it. Yo, what's going on, Lev? Come on in, man. Alright, hopefully it doesn't keep buffering, but we'll see. Lev, if you have an issue with my video buffering, let me know too. The last couple of weeks, I've had issues with my streaming while I'm trying to do these tier lists. So we'll see. Also, I'm going to adjust this just slightly. That should be a little bit better. I need a new webcam, but that's beside the point. Anyway. Oops, wrong one. Wrong one again. Oh my gosh. Here we are. Alright. For this guy at 2, he's not bad. I think he's probably usable, but I'd probably put him like the lower end of B tier. I don't think he goes down in the C. I don't think there's going to be any D tier ground type Pokemon. The one always complaining about it. In Royal. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any D ground types, D tier ground types. I don't think there's going to be a lot of C tier ground types, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Next up, we already went over these guys the other day, but we'll do it again. Nidoran female. But we're talking about Nidoqueen because it is a ground type. Average stats across the board. Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to all of them. We talked about this a little bit in was it last week's poison type tier list? You have higher attack, you only have 75 special attack, but you get Flare Boost as your passive, and Sheer Force. You get Malignant Chain and Sandsteer Storm, which is a good stab move, but you kind of want Weather up for it, and it doesn't have a way to set Weather on its own. You do get Sludge Wave and Earth Power. Earth Power is a nice special ground type move to have. It's just, this thing doesn't excite me much because of its stat spread. Yo, Copy, what's going on? Yeah, the thing doesn't excite me because of its stat spread not lining up super well with, like, Flare Boost. And the egg moves as well, like Calm Mind and Moonlight, you can make it a little bulkier and stuff like that. It does cost 3. Honestly, for 3, I'd rather have the male, but I still think it's B tier and can probably put out a lot of work. Yeah, same to you. Hopefully everyone's having a good Pride month so far. Say the first day? Second day. Second day. June's pretty busy for me, so a lot of it gets lost in the spin. Yeah, I think Nidoqueen is perfectly fine, especially at 3. You can definitely use it, especially if you have the hidden ability and passive unlocked. You don't even need the egg moves. Calm Mind would be nice, but like you get Earth Power and Sludge Wave just through level up, both of which are really nice. However, it is this guy I think is a lot better. Also at 3, now you have higher attack. You lose a little bit of defenses, but your higher attack, which you actually take advantage of because you have Guts, combined with the Sheer Force, and you get Dragon Dance through TM. I think these egg moves in general are just better than Nidoqueen's. These are all outstanding. Getting Dragon Dance is nutty, especially on a Pokemon with like Guts and Sheer Force. And then all of these are useful. This is great against Rayquaza, great against Eternatus, and just in general, super strong stab move. These are just really, really good moves. The level up doesn't excite me as much because, again, we are physical instead of special. You get Poison Jab in case you don't have Noxious Torque. And like Double Kick, I guess. Mega Horn if you want it, even though it's pretty inaccurate. And then you have options up through TMs as well. But just the egg moves combined with its ability synergizing better with its base stats. I think this is quite a bit better than Nidoqueen. And as such, I'm actually going to have this up into A tier. I used this guy quite a bit when I was grinding out candies for him, trying to get his egg move. He once you get sheer force on him and a flame orb, he puts in a lot of work. The biggest issue is you have to take hustle on Nidoran before you get the evolution, and that just sucks. I hate hustle as an ability. Just in general, I really don't like it. But let's move on to... I'm going to be trying to go through slightly faster today. That way I don't keep having like 3 or 4 hour streams, or like 4 or 5 hour streams. If you guys have questions or want to discuss about Pokemon I'm going through, just let me know. I can definitely hold up. Dugtrio. It's fast, has a usable attack. 35 hit points combined with 50 defense is kind of... Sandville, Arena Trap, and Sand Force. Again, you're falling into the same thing that Sandshrew did in the fact that you want to have Sand Up. Arena Trap usually isn't that big of a deal in Classic mode. One thing to note about Arena Trap is it is one of the 4 lure abilities in the game. So whenever Dugtrio or Diglett is your first Pokemon in your party, it basically acts as a lure, so you can hunt for double battles a little more easily. Just something to kind of keep in mind. Sturdy is cool, especially on something as frail as this. It'll let you take advantage of that 100 base attack. So you can usually get off 2 attacks, start at full health, because you'll probably attack before they do with 120 base speed, and then live something with Sturdy, and then get a second attack off if you stay in. Hopefully it would be enough to KO something. Triple Dive hits multiple times. Triple Axle is the best move in Classic, I want to say. It is just so good. It answers so many issues. And you learn Sword Stance as well. So Sturdy lets you get Sword Stance off more easily. You get hit, you Sword Stance, and then you have Triple Dive or Triple Axle. And then Headlong Rush. Lowering your defense and special defense on this guy really isn't that big of a deal, because like they already start out pretty low. You're probably getting one shot anyway, so you add in something with 120 base power, maybe after his Sword Stance, you're going to be putting out a lot of damage with this thing. It just doesn't have any staying power, and that's kind of its big issue. Sand 2 might be like a niche use against Eternatus, but again, you're probably not going to stay on the field super long. You'll get 1 trigger off of it with Sturdy, maybe 2 if you attack someone else. Does get Earthquake leveling up. Fissure if you're greedy. Oh my gosh, why do I have something in my throat? Sucker Punch is the other big one. Just having that type of coverage. Sword Stance Sucker Punch can do a lot of damage at priority speed in case you don't outspeed something. You get Night Slash too. I honestly prefer Sucker Punch in general. I don't care about Tri-Attack on something with 50 special attack. I get why it gets Tri-Attack, but yeah. This thing is fine. It costs 2, just like Sandshrew. I think it falls kind of into the same general role as Sandshrew, I guess is the way I want to put it. It has Sand Force or Sand Veil, or Sand Rush. It's probably not going to stick around for too long. Sandshrew will stick around a little longer, but Diglett's egg moves are a lot better, in my opinion. Just Sword Stance and Triple Axle with Headlong Rush, I think, are better. I think you can use it. You kind of want the passive on it for Sturdy. But because it has Triple Axle, I think I'm going to put it here, and it's faster than Sandshrew. I still think they're both low B. But especially, what was it, 2 points? Yeah, I think you could definitely use it at 2 points. Do we have it in here? Yeah, we'll just hop down to this guy right now. Alolan Dugtrio. Ground Steel type's pretty interesting. Does leave you weak to a couple more things, but gives you a ton of resistances because, you know, Steel type. Same general stat spread. You're a little bit slower, but it looks like you have slightly more defense and special defense, if I remember right. You get Sandville, Sand Force, Sturdy, and Tangling Hair instead of Arena Trap. Honestly, I think I'd rather have Arena Trap just for the lure ability. But again, if you don't have Sand Up, I'm not crazy about any of these. Sand Force is kind of cool, I guess, and it works with steel type moves as well. So that'd probably be the one I go to. It's more consistent than Sandveil, but Sandveil can also be very good if you like a more defensive playstyle. 1,000 Waves, I'd rather have 1,000 Arrows, but 1,000 Waves is a very good spread move that can really clear out double battles for a while. It gets triple dive, but it doesn't get triple axle, and that really hurts. That really hurts it. It gets Pyro Ball for some reason. I'm not quite sure why, but it gets this. Losing triple axle really hurts. Triple axle is what really, really helps out Kanto, Dugtrio. These are still, like, good. Some might argue this is better than Headlong Rush because it's a spread move. Triple Dive is still good. It covers for fire types that are going to start to threaten you because of your steel typing. Pyro Ball, yes. I don't quite know why it gets Pyro Ball, but... potentially. We'll get there. Yeah, unfortunately, I think this thing is actually slightly worse just because its egg moves are worse. Because it gets Iron Head, which is good. Iron Head is a super good move, especially with something that has 110 base speed. But everything else in here, you still get Sucker Punch. I think at 2 points, it's not good. Tested, nothing else obvious. Stick. Yeah, we'll go through them. Again, just because I have a ribbon on all of these doesn't mean I've tested them extensively. Which is why it's great that people are here to kind of yell at me for my dumb takes, you know, like Sigilif and Riftblim. Honestly, losing Triple Axle puts it, like, down here for me. That's kind of the big thing. Like, I could even see it going like this. Yeah, just losing Triple Axle hurts. Again, it's 2 points. You get steel coverage. It can do some cool things. The egg moves aren't bad. They're just not as good, and I'm not a fan of something that frail. 35 base hit points is just rough. Geodude, ¿dónde está? Aquí? There we go. That's a surprisingly high attack. I didn't realize how high its attack stat actually was until I dove into this. I just always thought it was kind of a more defensive mod. 45 speed definitely hurts. Let's also 3 points. I need to start remembering to do that. Oops. But 120 attack is way more than I thought it would have. Obviously a great defense. That's kind of what Golem is known for, in addition to blowing up in your face. 80 hit points is usable. 65 special defense isn't great, but it at least doesn't, like, its 80 hit points doesn't make it super frail, especially then. So this thing definitely can take a hit and stick around. 45 speed sucks, but it's a fucking boulder. I don't know what to say besides that. It, like... The boulder is not designed for speed. Rockhead, cool, sturdy. I kind of like. Dry Skin is a mixed bag, but I like it because it gets rid of your water weakness. And I think that's really cool. Sandveil, if you want Sandstorm up, I think Dry Skin is a great passive. It's a rock, my bad. I think Dry Skin's a great passive for this thing. I love it. Really, really good. Flare Blitz, Head Smash, Shore Up, and Shell Smash. They're definitely trying to push you into the Rockhead version with its TM moves. You get one defensive thing in Shore Up. But honestly, like with Rockhead, Shell Smash, Flare Blitz, and Head Smash are going to go crazy. I don't know why I guess Head Smash is stronger. That's why it has 80 accuracy. It's a strong rock type move. It's going to be inaccurate. I do love using this thing as a Stealth Rock setter. I think Stealth Rocks in particular are actually pretty good in Classic. Especially, like, if you don't have a solo carry team comp. Just because you can set them up, the opponent is going to be switching a lot if you don't one-shot all of their stuff. And you're going to get a lot of use out of this. Even against your rival, like, it's going to chunk Rayquaza pretty well. It's going to chunk their flying type pretty well. It can chunk their starter. Sometimes they'll have a Volcarona too, and that just destroys them. Like Stealth Rock, you can get a lot of value out in a lot of situations. And if you have Sturdy, you're obviously going to get it up guaranteed. If you have Dry Skin, you're going to get it up more consistently. It can do a lot of stuff. It gets Earthquake through level up, which is great. Stone Miss, if you want to try and you don't have Rockhead. This thing does have different ways you can go with it, which is kind of neat. I don't think it's A tier, but honestly, I'd put it like in here, I think. I think Shell Smash really gives it the threat that it would otherwise be missing. I think it's probably like near the higher end of B tier. Yeah. Especially for 3 points, if you have Shell Smash unlocked, it can be tough to remove with Dry Skin and Sturdy. Set up hazards, threaten with Shell Smash if you want to go that direction. Flare Blitz threatens grass types. I will say, like, Shell Smash, even at the +2, you only have 90 speed. It's, yeah. But at least you're moving faster. Get 2 Shell Smashes off, you're doing better. Yeah, I think like high B tier for this thing probably. This is actually one I wouldn't mind testing out some more on my own. Do I need anything for Geodude? Hold up. I don't think I'm missing any egg moves on it. No, I'm not missing any egg moves on it. I actually have all the natures but one as well. Okay. Still need the Cubone. I think Cubone's the only Pokemon in Gens 1 and 2 I don't have all the egg moves for. Anyway, yeah, I'd probably put it like high B. 3 points, I think, is a pretty reasonable place for it. Getting that linking cord can be a little aggravating. I still think it's fine. Let's move on to Steelix. 200 base defense is pretty good. Obviously, it's going to be super slow speed. Hit points and special defense are usable. And its attack stat is fine. It's definitely usable. Steel ground type. You get Rockhead, Sturdy, and Sheer Force. Rocky Payload's an interesting one. You kind of get like a third stab with it. All of its abilities are definitely usable, depending on what you want to do with it. Again, I think the 30 speed, depending on its egg moves, probably limits Rockhead and Sheer Force a little bit. Shore Up is great. Yeah, exactly. Onyx is kind of trash, just because, you know, Onyx has 45 attack. Has less attack than Oddish. Onyx is trash. It's garbage, and it's too bad. But yeah, chance with the item, it's a Great Ball tier, so it's not bad. Just make sure you have a Steel type move. Shore Up's great on defensive Pokemon. Coil gives you more defense and offense as well. Also kind of combines pretty well with Diamond Storm, but Rocky Payload in general, because Rock-type moves are generally inaccurate, so being able to get more accuracy from them is nice. And this is a solid spread stab move. I think I like all of these on it. No Steel-type move is a little rough. But Diamond Storm is also a spread move, which I love. I keep forgetting to check. This thing is 3 points. Start yelling at me whenever I forget to check that. Crunch is actually kind of fine for a little while. It's not bad, like, if you don't have anything else. It gets the Elemental Fangs. Ice Fang in particular could be really nice against Rayquaza. Maybe you turn to this as well. Autotomize? I'm going with Autotomize. But you start out at 30, which is a little rough. It can also set up Stealth Rocks. We talked about it with what's-his-face? Golem. It gets Gyro Ball and Rock Slide. Like, I love this. Stab, mini stab with the passive, but just solid spread move. And you can combine it with Coil if you have it. If you manage to get Terra Ghost, Curse on this guy could be interesting against Eternatus. Probably not recommended, but fun. Set up Sandstorm, but it doesn't set it up when it comes into the battle, which is what I'm usually looking for. Iron Tail, I don't love because of 75% accuracy. Even with Coil, it takes a little bit. Stone Edge, yeah. It does get Body Press. That's the big thing I was looking at for this thing. You combine 200 defense with Coil and Diamond Storm, you're gonna want to have Body Press. Unfortunately, it's a TM and not found anywhere else. Which is a little disappointing, because that does seem to be like what they're kind of going for with this. But it's still useful, especially at 3. Oh, how did I forget? Hold up. There's a Mega. I forgot about the Mega. Now you have 230. Your attack actually goes up by 45, maybe 40. Your special defense goes up too. You're way bulkier. Sand Force, again, you want to have your own sand, but Sand Spit lets you set it up. And you get to take advantage of all 3 of these. If you have the passive on Steelix, which is Rocky Payload, you're probably going to have a rock-type move. You might have Rock, Ground, and Steel. You can take advantage of all 3 of those through Sand Force. Set up your own sand, chip things down, and then you are a very threatening mon. Especially with Shore Up, this thing would be tough to remove. Very, very tough to remove. Yeah, that's kind of terrifying. Like, even just this set right here. It's kind of neat. Hi. It is. It's so nice. Plus, it overrides other weather, which can be huge in some situations as well. Man, I think Golem is better than Steelix, but honestly, with the Mega, it might push it up into A tier. Yeah, it might push it up into A tier. You could go easy with... Yeah. Yeah, I think it... Even though Onyx sucks and you're gonna want to evolve it, I guess the big thing... you get Gyro Ball at 22. Yeah, but, like, also, if you have Mega Steelix, like, that's 95 special defense. That's not bad. Especially if you've put a couple Zinks into it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it goes into A tier. I think the Mega moved it from, like, here or here into A tier. It's probably not going to be super high A tier. Just because of how bad Onyx itself is. But it can definitely do its job. Pretty well. Marowak. We are going to be talking about Kanto Marowak. We're not going to be talking... Yeah, but, like, yeah. We're not going to be talking about Alolan Marowak, because it's Ghost Fire type. We'll be talking about it in the other ones. 110 defense, usable attack, usable special defense. It's slow. I've been grinding stuff for this guy because he refuses to give me his last egg move. Even though I've hatched 86 of the little motherfuckers. He costs 3, just as a heads up. Gets Rockhead, Lightning Rod, and Battle Armor. I don't care about Battle Armor. Lightning Rod is... I like Rockhead on it. Lightning Rod can be helpful if you're running next to like a water or flying type, but in general, I like Rockhead on this guy. Parental Bond is amazing. It is one of the best abilities in the game. It is absolutely outstanding. It's sad, but a little bit funny. Egg moves are Head Smash and Wood Hammer, both of which are really good with The biggest thing is, you know, the 45 speed. Shadow Sneak gets around that a little bit. And then Bitterblade, I like as a move in general. Shadow Sneak and Bitterblade are mostly there for the Alolan Marowak. But this is, like, Bitterblade is still solid to have. It hits the water and grass types that would otherwise hit Cubone. Biggest thing about this is, I don't like its level up. Stomping Tantrum is cool. Bone Rush is a little too inaccurate and inconsistent. Stomping Tantrum is cool. But, like, in general, I'm not crazy about any of these. One thing to note is Marowak does get its own special item, kind of like Farfetch'd or Pikachu. It gets Thick Club. Yeah. Or it's its mother's ghost helping him out. But it does get Thick Club, which definitely boosts its damage, which is really nice. Like, getting that is a noticeable power difference. It is an Ultra Ball tier item, which is helpful. But in general, I'm not crazy about this. There's a lot of ground-type moves competing for stuff here. Stomping Tantrum, Bone Rush, and Bone Club. And Bone Meringue. There's just a lot here. Stomping Tantrum, I think, is the most consistent. Bone Meringue probably is the highest up. Biggest thing for me is it doesn't have a setup move. And if you don't have Shadow Sneak, it doesn't even have Sucker Punch. So the 45 base speed is really kind of an issue. It does learn Swords Dance through TM. It's something I'm always looking for on the rare times I've used Cantonian Cubone. Does it get Power Up Punch? Yeah, it does. It gets Power Up Punch, yeah. If you have Parental Bond, Power Up Punch is great. It gives you +2. It's basically a Swords Dance plus a little bit of chip damage. Get some other decent TMs. I'm not a fan of Cantonian Marowak. Just kind of in general, especially at 3. It's one of those, again, I'd probably put, like, here just because of Parental Bond. But if I'm running Cubone, I'm gonna want to go with the Galarian or the Alolan version. It's usable, but I'm not crazy about it. I think, in general, Alolan is just better. You really want a setup move, which you can only get through TM. Its egg moves are fine, but they're, for Cantonian Marowak, they're kind of designed for the recoil stuff. So you kind of want to take Rock Head. And, is it Head Smash? Is that... Yeah, Head Smash is only 80% accurate. Wood Hammer is nice. It's solid coverage. 100% accurate. Just in general, I'm not crazy about this thing. I'd be better if it gave me fucking Bitterblade finally. Anyway, I digress. I'm not worried about it. Rhyhorn! This guy. 4 points. That is because... Rhyperior. Good HP, good attack, good defense, slow. Are you seeing a theme with ground types? And special defense isn't great, but at least 115. Rhyperior? Maybe I knew it used to have it. We'll get to it. 55 special defense isn't great, but 115 base hit points definitely makes up for it. Lightning Rod, I don't care all that much about Lightning Rod in Pokerogue on ground types, but Solid Rock is kind of nice. Is Solid Rock just filter? Yes, okay. It has Reckless, which is kind of neat. Are Solid Rock and Filter additive or multiplicative? Does anyone know? Does Solid Rock plus Filter just make it do normal damage? Or is it like you take... Yeah. You take 150% damage, and then that gets multiplied by the... It's reduced by another 0.25, which would be like 112.5% damage. It's additive? Yeah. Alright, I'm going to operate under the assumption that they just... If you have Solid Rock and Filter, you take normal damage from super effective moves. If you get hit by a 4 times weak move, because you are Ground Rock, you're taking double damage. That's still really good, though. With its stats, you can go defensive, but 140 attack is a lot to pass up on. If you wanted to go offensive with Reckless, Head Smash, Stab hits like a truck. Shore Up is really nice. Accelerock, I mean, you have 140 base attack. Accelerock is a really cool move. Ice Hammer, you're already like 40 base speed, so what if your speed goes down? And again, this can hit some things you want to. Grass type, flying types, dragon types. Some of their stuff. Not crazy about it, but it kind of makes sense for Rhyperior, and Shore Up is just kind of nice. Rock Wrecker. Horn Drill if you want to go for one-shots. It gets Earthquake through level up. Drill Run if you don't want to go for the spread of Earthquake later on. Not crazy about Rock Blast. It gets Hammer Arm. Do you get Sword Stance? You get Sword Stance too, yeah. I mean, this thing is definitely just really tough to remove, especially for physical physical attackers. Especially because, like, it seems like you can negate your weaknesses, your normal weaknesses. Or, like, this thing has options. In some ways, it really reminds me of Golem. I think it is just better Golem. Because you can go offensive or defensive with it. I think it's better defensively. It might be better offensively, too. Like, yeah, it's like in here, probably. You need a couple things to really make it take off, but those base stats are still insane. I think it's probably slightly better than Onyx. Just because it doesn't need a Mega. Like, I have a super high opinion of Nidoking. I think Nidoking is busted. Yeah. Yeah, solid A for a solid rock, and maybe we can filter things out later. Rhyperior puns! Yeah, I think Nidoking's busted, and it's a point cheaper, which is why I have it there. Yeah. This is why we have exclamation point boo. Oh my gosh, you guys have no clue how happy I am my auto mod got that. I am so happy that got set up correctly and it caught something. Alright, sorry. That's Gen 1. Whooper! Who doesn't love this little guy? Evolving at level 20 is really nice. It's fine. Like, these are average stats across the board, low speed. I love this little guy. I think most people love Quagsire. His stats are perfectly average. Good HP, usable attack, usable defense. Slightly below average special defense. Forget about the speed. It's just a bot copy. For one of the, like, you want viewers? Yeah, I put in an auto mod for a phrase they use in all their messages. Because they usually change the characters, like making the A's and stuff look different to get around it. But I figured out what was consistent, and I just put in the automatically detect and timeout. I'm so happy it caught it. Yeah, stats are fine. I mean, speed, it is what it is. It's... What is Whooper? It's just Nightbot. What animal is Quagsire? Oh, it's an axolotl. Duh. Okay. However, its abilities are where it gets fun. Damp, unaware, sometimes helpful. Water absorb, I love. I really like moves like this. Even comatose is like, you're now immune to status conditions. Yeah. Water absorb plus comatose is a pretty good combination, I think. Sizzly slide, recover, I love. Shed tail is interesting. I was actually using this guy in my candy runs the other day. He happened to have Pokerogue. He actually got me through a couple fights, because Surging Strikes is also outstanding. Sizzly Slide to kind of lock things down, recover, and Surging Strikes. I didn't use Shed Tail that much, especially because it doesn't have, like, Regenerator or anything. These are solid egg moves in general. Of niche immunities. Yeah, he's up there with Gastrodon. I think Gastrodon is just better than this guy. But we'll get to Gastrodon. Yawn. I really like having Yawn on a Pokemon in Pokerogue. Especially like later on for Eternatus, it can be disruptive. Muddy Water's interesting. I used to use a Muddy Water strat in Endless. Like Muddy Water, Multi-Lens, and King's Rock. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think I usually take Water Absorb over Unaware. If I was going offensive Quagsire for some reason, I would take Unaware instead of Water Absorb, I think, though. And it gets Earthquake through level up. I'm not crazy about Toxic. I feel like you're usually KOing things before Toxic really ramps up, and you can't Toxic Eternatus anyway. These, in general, aren't insane. You do have Yawn, and you do have Earthquake. Yeah. I love Gastrodon. It carried me through my Emerald Horizons, my first ever difficulty hack. It just walled out the champions Milotic and Water Arceus with Toxic, Ice Beam, and Recover. They literally couldn't do anything. It was such an anticlimactic end, like all of that build up, and the last half hour was just him switching back and forth 3-set Toxic timers. Anyway, I forgot to mention, it's 2 points. This thing's fine. I don't think it's great, but neither am I unhappy to have it on my team usually. If I find one, I'll use it. For a little while. Yeah, that is something that's kind of disappointing. I do think he falls into here. I think he's better than everything below this. I think he probably goes here. Just because he does have that type of utility. I think he's definitely better than the 4 down here. I think he's definitely better than these, and I think you could do this, and I think he's worse than Golem, because Golem can get dry skin. So I'd put him like here or here. I think I would go here just because he does have the immunity and a little more utility. But I think that's where I'd put him. And then we go to this guy. I love this guy. Clodsire was an absolute staple on my Scarlet team when I first played through the game. He is 3 instead of 2. Has ground poison typing. Do with that what you will. I kind of like having the poison typing. Base stats, super high hit points, good special defense. Its attacking stats are lower, its speed is even lower, and its defense is a little lower, but again, a lot more hit points and a lot more special defense. You get Water Absorb again, and Thick Fat. We talked about this guy a little bit in our poison type tier list. Water Absorb plus Thick Fat is like 2 really, really good defensive abilities, especially on ground type. Egg moves are Stone Axe, which I love. I love Stone Axe. Baneful Bunker and Barb Barrage. I'd like to have a way to set up Barb Barrage a little more easily, but Baneful Bunker is still nice. But honestly, like Stone Axe, Recover, and Barbarage are like all solid. Even Baneful Bunker has its use. Gets Earthquake again, Sludge Wave. If you want to spread move, but Poison Jab to go with that. It gets Yawn as well. It can set up its own Toxic Spikes. I really like this guy. I think he's better than base Clodsire, or Quagsire. I think the typing's a little more interesting, and with the additional utility of Thick Fat and Water Absorb, you stick around longer, combined with the 130 base hit points. Barbarage is a pretty cool ability, and it can set itself up, unlike Venoshock. I don't know why they won't give Venoshock, whatever you want to call it, a chance to poison. But you can also set up hazards with this. And I talked about hazards with Golem and Rhyperior, why I think they're really, really good. Toxic Spikes aren't as good, but Stealth Rocks really, really is. At 3, I'd probably put him, like, here. I don't think he's A tier. I don't think he puts out enough offensive pressure to be A tier. But I think as a defensive Pokemon, he'd be really tough to remove with Recover, Thick Fat, and Water Absorb. He can be scary after a little bit of setup. He can put rocks down. I think, like, the top end of B is probably pretty good. I love Clodsire. I kind of wish he had Toxic Debris. But I'm fine with him having, like, Thick Fat and Water Absorb. They both kind of make sense. I think Thick Fat especially does, because he's a whale. He's a land whale. Not a land shark, but a land whale. I can't wait for more shiny variants for this guy. Yeah. I'm hoping whenever the next update is, which they said is still a few weeks out, he gets more shiny variants. Gligar. Alright. We talked about this guy in our flying type tier list. We'll go over him again. He does need an evolution item, but it's his first evolution, which is sometimes a big deal. Like, you can sometimes get Gliscor very, very early. Then you have this. Usable HP, good attack, really good defense, good speed, usable special defense. Abilities, Poison Heal, and Toxic Boost. Work really well together and give you something that's immune to status effects, and you get boosts off of them. Both of which are great. Base game, it's Swampert, Gastrodon. Yeah, probably. I don't usually put Swampert in there just because it's a starter. But I'd probably be... yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Again, we'll get to all of them. We're getting there. Also, ground flying is a really, really cool combination. You just have to worry about ice types. And, like, water? That might be it. I forget if... I think ground resist rock, yeah. Really good type combination. You hit hard. You get those two unlocks. You're hitting harder. You get Floaty Fall, which is great. Like, Floaty Fall is such a good stab move. 1,000 Waves, good. Spiky Shield, I don't care about. Mighty Cleave, fine. It hits ice types. VGC, but in singles. Because that, yeah, that makes sense. Well, yeah, Storm Drain's more valuable in VGC. I love Gastrodon. Again, we'll get to it, though. Mighty Cleave, still really strong. Level moves, not much in here. You start getting the, like, Poison Jab. You get the Fang moves, which are really nice. Knockoff, which is nice. Like, you have super solid moves in here. Even, like, X's or Acrobatics is good if you don't have Floaty Fall, Crab Hammer, and it gets Swords Dance through level up. Second, I mean, yeah. I can't say enough good things about Gastrodon. Swords Dance through level up, this type of coverage, these abilities, like, combined with these stats... It costs 3 as well. I don't know if this thing is S tier. If it's not, it's definitely at the top of A tier. Like, near the top of A tier. This thing is so good for 3. It is so unbelievably good for 3, even without Toxic Boost and Toxic Heal, and its egg moves. I think this thing is outstanding. I just think it's so good. It might move up to S tier. We'll look over everything later. But this thing is so unbelievably good. I want tier 3 for it. Need 3 more candies, but got it. And then we have Mamoswine. I'm going to take a break after this one. But we'll go over Mamoswine first. Just needs to know Ancient Power. So you'll probably have to tutor it on with a Memory Shroom. But you can get it very early. Yeah, you can get it level 33. Good HP. Surprisingly good stat for a Mammoth. Or speed, sorry. 130 attack is outstanding. Usable defense. Slightly below average special defense, but again, the high HP makes up for it. Oblivious, Snow Cloak can be great in the snow. Thick Fat, Slush Rush, again, you need the setup, and that's a bit of a downer. It's usually kind of a wasted stat, unless you're going for a snow comp. But if you are, then you have Snow Cloak and Slush Rush. 160 base speed with 130 attack is very scary on an Ice type, which usually has great offensive pressure, and ground types also usually have good offensive coverage. Slack Off, great. Mountain Gale, very good. Stone Axe, love this move. Precipice Blades. You want wide lenses. You really want wide lenses on this guy, but all 3 of these are outstanding. You give me a set with these 3, I'm pretty happy in general. I know Mamoswine had some use in like VGC, I think it was, because of Ice Shard. Priority move with 130 base attack is pretty good. Blizzard, not crazy, but it gets Earthquake as well. Ice Fang, if you don't want to use Ice Shard. We're getting to it. I'm going in order of this, so we're going to get to down here. Yeah, I'm going in order of this today. So it's going to be near the end later, unfortunately. Yeah. I never put in the, like, okay, if somebody donates $1 or 100 bits, I'll do their Pokemon next or anything, but... this thing also only costs 3? Honestly, I think even if I found a Swine... Like, if I just started playing or was in my first couple runs and I found one of these things, I'd be pretty happy. You got some good stuff in here just at base. Earthquake is solid. Ice Shard, Ice Fang is solid. I'd be pretty happy overall with this. Doesn't get Sword Stance. Gets Stone Edge, though. It's Iron Head, that's what I was looking for. Curse. I think this thing is probably low A tier. Just because it's pretty easy to pick up and use. It's got really good offensive coverage. Good stats in general. I think, like, probably here. But it doesn't need a Mega. I think Rhyperior is just better. But I think this thing is definitely scarier and doesn't need a Mega. And Ice is good coverage in this game. Yeah, I think this is probably fine. Especially at 3 points, was it? Yeah, at 3 points. With Thick Fat. Yeah. Let's put it there. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to stretch my legs, grab a drink, check on Free to Girl, see how that's going. Thanks for hanging out so far today, guys. We'll be back in 3 or 4 minutes.
Something's wrong, I feel it circling like vultures around my brain. Couldn't see the danger in your eyes. Draw me in, got me spinning now like water to a drain. You were perfect till I realized you hadn't shown your face. You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along. A siren serenade, you're ringing out your praise. Your love's a wreck and you know it's wrong. I was deaf to the ringing bells, wanting me to break, deafened by the sirens' soothing lies. I can't leave, I am in too deep, been sinking for a while, prisoner to the same thing I despise, devoted to a fake. You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along. A siren serenade, you're ringing out your praise. Your love's a wreck and you know it's wrong.
Alrighty, thanks for sticking around, guys. Sorry, I was taking care of something else on break. Let's get back to it with one of my favorite Pokemon, because who doesn't love this little guy? Look at this little guy. Therapy. Cost 3. Thank you, copy. Thank you, thank you. Alright, this little guy, he costs 3. I want the tier 3 for him. I really do. Base stats, surprisingly good attack, good HP, really good defense. Speed is about what you'd expect. Special defense is low but usable because of the HP. Sturdy is great. Sandvale is niche. It gets speed boost, which I think is hilarious. I love that this thing gets speed boost. Yeah, I think this thing is hilarious. Just that it gets speed boost. Definitely makes it better. It's still, after 2 turns, you have 100 base speed. I'd honestly like one more, and then you're doing even better. But yeah. This thing, I think, was like the second or third Pokemon. I want to say second Pokemon I ever got an Egg move on. I got Mountain Gale. Shore Up is good. Swords Dance, just as a common Egg move, is great. Mountain Gale, Ice type moves are great. It's just inaccurate. Collision Course is interesting, but sure, I guess. I guess it hits the Ice types. I don't quite get Collision. I guess Collision Course kind of makes sense mechanically on this guy. These are solid Egg moves. Giga Impact, I don't care about, but it gets Stomping Tantrum and Earthquake. It also gets Knockoff, which is one of my favorite coverage moves, especially in a game like Pokerogue. Everything else in here is kind of meh. It gets Fire Fang and Thunder Fang. It doesn't get Ice Fang, which I think is the best Fang move in the game. And the rest of these are kind of blah. Egg moves definitely save it. as does speed boost and the attack. It's another one of those I'm probably going to put in, like, here. I think it's good. Speed boost definitely helps. I don't think it's great. I think solid B tier. Like, without speed boost, it would definitely be dropping down to, like, in here. But I think speed boost alone maybe puts it in here. Yeah. I love the little guy, though. I'd love for him to get a Mega, but I guess he got 2 Paradox forms, so I can't complain that much. Yeah, I think, like, middle to top of B tier. Yeah. I could see where people would disagree, but we're not doing Larvitar because Tyranitar is not a ground type. So that means next up, we're also not doing Nincada. Yeah, I'd love for it to get like 1 or 2 other things, but again, I think it's solid, definitely usable. We're also not doing Nincada because Shedinja isn't. However, I heard you like Mudkips. This thing needs more shiny variants. It is a crime this thing doesn't have more shiny variants. I'm just saying. It costs 3. Which is honestly kind of a steal. Base stats, good HP, good attack, solid defense, even a usable special attack, good defense, or special defense, lowish speed. Abilities, Torrent, who cares, Damp, bleh. Regenerator's really cool though. These abilities, I'm not crazy about. I think it did used to be 4, yeah. Unless I did my math wrong? No? 2 costs for this thing should be 3 now. The abilities here are bleh. Yeah. Regenerators, really cool though. Egg moves, Shore Up, Mountain Gale, Aqua Step, and Precipice Blades. These are 3 really good egg moves. You're going to need wide lenses, and that's kind of the big thing. Man, I cannot find a comfortable temperature today. Even Shore Up is good. Like, if you gave me this as a set, I'd be pretty happy with it. I'd be disappointed I didn't have a setup move, but, like, even so, I'd get a lot of use out of this. And again, you can scale damage with, like, proteins and soul dews and mystic waters and soft sands and nevermelt ices. With boring abilities. And the abilities do make a difference. Because these are boring abilities. You get Surf, Earthquake, Hammer Arm. Like, you get stuff out of the gate with this thing. And Rock Slide. Rock Slide's another good one to keep in mind. After Rock Slide, it's kind of meh. But, oops. I was going to say, I better have perfect IVs on that thing. It does have a Mega. Attack goes up, HP stays the same, defense goes up, special defense goes up. Even the speed goes up by 10. Special attack, but when your attack goes up by that much. So what? Swift Swim and Drizzle. Holy shit, this thing becomes terrifying. Set up your own rain. You now move faster in the rain. You have 150 base attack. I mean... this thing's terrifying. It doesn't get Swords Dance. That's, like, kind of the big issue I have with it, is it doesn't have a great way to like, boost its own attack. It gets Power Up Punch. Does it get Curse, maybe? Like, the Curse isn't good. Maybe Bulk Up? Gets Curse. It does get Bulk Up, but it doesn't have a great way to boost its own attack. And that's kind of, like, the big downside to it. It's still insane. All that being said, I think with needing the Mega and it not getting Swords Dance or Victory Dance or Dragon Dance, I think it is at the top of A tier. I mean, it's... like, I'm right on the edge. There are so many good ground types is the thing. You just need the Mega, it doesn't set yourself up. Like, maybe we'll put it here and move it down later. Like, it's right, like, it's right on the edge here. I wish I could put it, like, here. It's just right on the edge for me. Again, I really value setup moves. Like, a ton. Although everyone does get access to Mudkip right away. Again, I'm right on the edge. The fact everyone gets access to it makes it a little bit better. Its egg moves are good, but not necessarily necessary. It's just without its Mega, it becomes kind of a run-of-the-mill water ground type, just with decent stats. But, like, its abilities in general are pretty useless. And if you're just starting out, you're not even going to have Regenerator. Yeah. Just that you're usually going to be hard switching, and it's not like when it comes back in, it does anything else. Like, it doesn't have Drizzle when it comes back in. It doesn't have Intimidate. It doesn't have a priority move, like a Fake Out or a First Impression or anything. Still good for the healing. We'll put it here for now. But, I'm not saying about the Pokemon in general. I'm saying about my feelings on it being S tier. Numel is 2 points. Hold up. Sorry, we have all the egg moves for it and everything. 2 points for Numel and Camerupt. Good attack. It's another split attack, like mixed attacker. That's slow. Its defenses are slightly below average, I would say. It doesn't do any defenses great. All of its stats really went into its offense, and neither one of them are super high. Well, it's ground types. I think S tiers are going to be stacked, but these aren't the final rankings. We'll reevaluate afterwards, and like as we go. Egg moves. It gets Trick Room, Energy Ball, Slack Off, and Blue Flare. I mean, I don't care about Trick Room. Energy Ball is cool. Slack Off is helpful, but your defensive stats aren't insane. Blue Flare is strong, but only 5 power points. Here we go. Still strong, just inaccurate as well. I'm not crazy about these egg moves. Level up moves, you get Rock Slide. You do get Flamethrower at base. I skipped over these, right. Magma Armor, cool. Solid Rock is helpful. Anger Point, and it gets Fur Coat. Yo, Goober, what's going on? Fur Coat is definitely nice. Anger Point. It boosts your attack stat, but look at the egg moves. Energy Ball and Blue Flare. Magma Armor is kinda... is what it is. So really you want Solid Rock and Fur Coat, which are good defensive ones. Does it make it really bulky, or just bulky? That's too bad, man. Hopefully you're getting near the end of the year, though. Yeah, it definitely helps. It's just... you're starting out at such a weird... like, not a great spot defensively. You do get Flamethrower at base, which is really nice. Eruption can be strong. Incinerate I actually like. And you get Earth Power. and Yawn, which we talked about earlier. This thing does have a Mega, though. Last week? Oh, there you go, man. That's such a great feeling. Alright, now this thing's looking a little bit better. You got more defense, more special defense. Your special attack goes way up. Your speed drops off a cliff, but frankly, who cares? You now have sheer force and stamina. Arguably, this is worse than Solid Rock and Fur Coat. Stamina is pretty cool. Sheer force is also cool, but again, you have 20 speed, so it's not like you're going to be one-shotting a lot of stuff. Your offensive pressure goes up, your base defense goes up, but I think your survivability goes down because of the change in abilities. Again, I think Trick Room's like a wasted egg move. Without doubles in the game, I think Trick Room's a wasted egg move. Slackoff gets more value in this form. It's 2 points. I think it goes in, like, here. Again, it can be bulky, like you said. Its Mega can put out offensive pressure. Yeah. I think it is better than these. Yeah, I really want it to be good, but it just doesn't feel like everything coalesces into a good kit. Also, I could probably see the case for moving all of these down to C, but I think they're all usable, which is weird. Like, I don't think I'm going to have any D tiers. I don't think I'm going to have many, if any, C tiers. I think ground typing is such a good typing in this game. But now we got Trapinch. Everybody loves Flygon. Evolve's a little late. 45. Oh, 3 points. Solid stats. 100 base speed's really nice. 100 base attack, nice. And then everything else is usable. Like, those are fine across the board. This could have been a bug dragon. I'm just saying. It's the last time I'll say it. Levitate. Okay. Yeah, Flygon's amazing. I remember getting a shiny Flygon from the Max Raid dens in Sword and Shield. Gave it to a friend of mine who loved Flygon. Levitate is good. It's not like on a ground dragon type, it doesn't do anything insane. It just gives you an immunity. Oh, that's so cool. Goober, I shiny hunted so much. Internet is doing fine again. Good, Caskin. For now, fair enough. Adaptability, though, is a really cool ability and just strong overall. Egg moves. Fire Lash. Dragon Darts, I love. Thousand Arrows, I love. Dragon Energy, it's Dragon type Eruption. These are all pretty solid. I mean, Fire Lash is kind of the odd one out there, but it hits ice types that threaten you. And, like, these 3 egg moves, I think, are all really good for common. Before you got bored? Yeah. I used to stream it. We have one borderline one. Mudkip. I'm not crazy about it, but I think Copy convinced me to put it there for now. Hey, Lev. It is if you outspeed things. It's Dragon type Eruption, which is insane if you outspeed things. Generally, I'd prefer to have Dragon Darts, I think. But it can be really good, and it's a spread move. It is, but your special attack is, like, still 80. It's not like it's unusable. You get Dragon Claw, even Crunch. But you get Dragon Dance at base, and there you go. Like, that's why you wouldn't really want to use Dragon Energy, probably. Like, Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, or Dragon Darts, Thousand Arrows, Fire Lash, and then, like, one other thing in here. Boom Burst is meh. You get Earthquake, which is great. For using Mamoswine over Rhyhorn. That's fair. I think they are pretty close. That's why they're right next to each other. I think the big thing I put Rhyhorn there was it gets Filter and Solid Rock. Swine does get thick fat, but Filter plus Solid Rock is just such a solid type combination. Or solid ability combination. This thing getting Dragon Dance at base with like decent coverage. The typing's not that bad. Just worried about ice types. And it's cool as shit. Like, this thing looks so freaking cool. And it only costs 3. Like, Dragon Dance is insane. I think it goes here. Right, yeah, it has options. Yeah, I think it goes here. Again, I'm very high on Nidoking. I think Nidoking is insane. But I think putting Trapinch here, especially at 3, is probably pretty good. Just takes a little while to evolve it. Kind of on the bright side, though, is something you can look at. This thing gets Arena Trap, which gets you more double battles, so you can level it up faster. Something to keep in mind. It's too bad that Flygon, like, these are the only things Flygon gets. Late game, I mean, yeah, that's fine. Again, it's why they're right next to each other. I think they're pretty close. Now, Flygon goes, or Trapinch and Flygon go there. Barboach is next? Yeah, this little guy. Another water ground type. 2 points. Good HP, slightly below average everywhere else. Not great. Oblivious Anticipation and Hydration. I don't like any of those. Yeah, it does get simple, and that's where it's kind of insane. Yeah. Because it gets Dragon Dance. And Ice Spinner for coverage, like, simple Dragon Dance will, like, alone. I'll check. No. I mean, it might through this. No, it doesn't. You get Dragon Dance. Yeah. Dragon Dance is the way to go. Zing Zap is also solid. Like, this is a solid set right here. Just simple Dragon Dance with these. You could even drop Zing Zap for, like, Earthquake if you wanted. Since you have Ice Spinner for flying type coverage. Yeah, you get Earthquake, Aqua Tail. None of these are, like, insane. I guess you get Zen Headbutt. But simple Dragon Dance is, like, I can't say enough good stuff about it. And all the egg moves are good. Like, you don't need Surging Strikes. It's really, really good. But yeah, I can believe that. Yeah, like, it definitely has a niche use. I'm just not caring about it in, like, a kind of a normal run, like, usually. But no, probably I'd go Hydration Simple because rain is pretty common in a lot of the biomes, even if you're not going for it explicitly. Yeah, that's blah. Even then, just like rain is such a common one to come across. Dragon Dance Simple N2 cost. I think that alone might put him like up here. It's just so crazy having simple Dragon Dance. Like, maybe not there. Maybe even there. And, like, Dragon Dance is a common egg move, too. It's just you want those things. Fair enough. I feel like I don't come across it that often. But I also don't think I've done like a quote standard run in a while. Wooper's great, Friday. What are you talking about? Paldean Wooper's a lot better, but S++. Okay, I thought you were saying shit tier. I'm like, why? Who's hating on Wooper, man? That Wooper's, Paldean Wooper in particular is pretty solid. I love Clodsire. And he has a good defensive passive in this game. But yeah, that's where I'd put Barboach. Claydol. 2 points. I mean, decent defense, good special defense, lower HP, but use both those defensive stats and slightly below average offensive stats, but... Yep, that's why we had it in B tier, Goober. There you go. I don't think I named mine. But man, my Paldean Clodsire, like my Clodsire carried my Scarlet run. It was great. This thing's defensive-ish with average stats. Levitate, well-baked body. I don't care about Levitate really on a ground psychic type. I don't care about well-baked body that much. I mean, it's 2 immunities, yes. But they aren't really immunities I care about. I guess anything with well-baked body is, like, you put Terra Steel on it for Eternatus. It's pretty good, especially if you have psychic type coverage. I mean, I get well-baked body from a design perspective. Yeah, it does make sense. Like, I'm not knocking it from a design perspective. I'm just, from a gameplay perspective, fine. Yep. Egg moves, Recover, Glare is really cool, Ruination is neat, and Mystical Power. You can set yourself up. I think Glare is good. I mean, yeah, but we just went over Flygon as well, who had it. These are good. I mean, Recover with those defensive stats is probably fine. Could be tough to remove. Glare is a good move to shut things down, and it's 100% accurate. Ruination and Mystical Power, like, these are all fine. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure the exact proceedings of making clay. Anyway. These are all fine. Hyper Beam I don't care about. Start getting into stuff. Psybeam is where I start caring. Extrasensory and Earth Power are both good. Cosmic Power as well a little bit. And the rest I don't care really all that much about. If you get well-baked body into this thing and find a Terra Steel, this thing could actually be pretty threatening. This thing could be pretty threatening to Eternatus later on. Just because you have, like, Mystical Power, Ruination, and Glare. Even Recover. Like, it's going to be tough for Eternatus to remove this thing as you're stacking up. Outside of that, I'm not crazy about it, even at 2 points. Like, its 70 attack stats aren't insane. Its egg moves don't provide it a ton. And, like, traditional, like, just getting through the floors helps against Rayquaza and Eternatus and some bigger bosses. Mystical Power can set you up for a little while. Yeah. And well-baked body gives you defense boost. Yeah. I think this thing's use against Eternatus is kind of what saves it a little bit. And, like, 2 immunities is still nice, but... maybe here? In here. Oops. I think it's either just above or just below Numel. I think probably here because it really doesn't shine until 200. It can get you through until then, but I'd put it like here. You would want to find Terra Steel for it. That's when it really takes off at 200. Yeah, I think in there. It's not bad. It's usable. Not insane. However, interesting. I want more shiny variants for this guy. I know they exist. I'm saying I personally want them. A Groudon costs 9. I'm just going to put that out there. It costs 9. Really good stats. Drought and Mold Breaker are both really good. Egg moves, Stone Axe, I love. Solar Blade to combine with Drought. Morning Sun to combine with Drought. Sacred Fire. It's like a truck. Stone Axe and Solar Blade, I think here are like the two big ones. Hammer Arm, Blast, you do get Earthquake later on. You get Bulk Up. And Precipice Blades at base. Precipice Blades is really cool. You do want wide lenses for this guy, unfortunately. Stone Axe, Sacred Fire, and Precipice Blades all want wide lenses. But he hits hard and has good coverage. You also get Sword Stance through TM if you want to do that. Just at base, Groudon is really good. The 9 cost is a lot. I've said it before. Pokemon, as the cost goes up, it gets exponentially more restrictive. Because you can do way more with 2 points than you can do with 1 point. Which sounds weird. Like, it sounds obvious, but like, hopefully you guys get what I mean. However, these base stats and the fact that it sets up Sunlight for itself is kind of nutty. These egg moves are all great. We talked about why I love Stone Axe earlier. And then you got this. $180 base attack. You get Fire Stab. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a point where, like, if you have enough points, it doesn't quite matter if something's 3 or 4 points. But it might definitely matter if it's, like, 8 or 9 points. In general. These stats are bonkers. You get Fire. So you are weak to, like, 4 times weak to Water. But you have Desolate Land. Water moves literally don't work. Which is kind of nice. Already talked about the egg moves. This thing's insane. I'm trying to think, which is tough for me, I know. It's really, really good. Is it 9 points good? Is it S tier or is it high A tier? I think is what it comes down to. Yeah. Groudon can definitely solo. It can definitely solo. I am not worried about that. It kind of does want its egg moves. I think it... Oh. Use Groudon a lot. Yeah. Number 1 in A tier. Yeah, it's right... Again, it's right there with Mudkip on, like, the borderline here. It's just 9 cost is so expensive. And it wants its egg moves. Yeah. But it's really good. Like, if you have this thing and you just want to try to punch through Classic, this thing's going to be really good to help you out. Give it like a Zigzagoon for pickup backup or a Rabombi for Honey Gather pickup. Yeah, it's like right here for me. We'll put it there just because 9 is so expensive. I will say, I think Groudon is better than Arceus. The another 9 cost we went over at the beginning of our tier lists. Alright. Then we got Torterra. This thing costs 3. First of all, yeah, I think I can agree with that, Kaskin. I don't like grass types in this game. I don't like them. I think they get a raw deal. Even though they usually get Leech Seed, I don't like grass types. However, this thing has pretty good bulk. You like good attack stat. Its speed's a little low, but like good bulk in general. It gets shell armor, so it can't be crit, which is meh. Thick fat definitely helps it out, though. Thick fat is a big deal. Shell Smash is outstanding. I really like Shell Smash. Mighty Cleave, we've talked about it. Good coverage move for the flying types to threaten you. Ice Spinner, really good. Sappy Seed is really solid. Hard-hitting stab grass type move that also puts Leech Seed on things. It's good. This set right here, I'd be pretty happy with. Maybe drop Mighty Cleave for, like, Earthquake. Or even Headlong Rush later. If you don't have Sappy Seed, it does get Leech Seed later to deal with Eternatus. You can make it bulkier if you want to with like Synthesis and Giga Drain. I don't like that set, but it is something you can do. I think this thing's pretty strong. If you have Shell Smash, it could definitely be threatening. But too many things threaten it too easily with that typing. I think it probably goes here. Because of Shell Smash and its egg moves, and everyone has access to it. Even without it, you still have, like, Headlong Rush, Earthquake, and some other stuff. I think I'd put it here. I think Flygon's better because of Dragon Dance at base. And its typing in general. But I think Torterra is good. I think here. I could see a case where you'd put it below these two. For sure. But I think for here is probably pretty solid. Yeah. Next up, we are looking at... There it is. Sandy Cloak Burmy. Fair enough, yeah. I think that's pretty true for a lot of grass types. Is sometimes they can be great, but if you get like a run of bad luck where you're just like Sunny Field, Mountain, Volcano, which I think you can actually... I think that's an actual set, and then like, yeah. Like that's an actual path you can take. It just gets a little rough. This thing only costs 2. We're talking about good defense, even though it doesn't have great HP. Are we cutting the fact that you won't ever use this over this? I mean, a little bit copy. Yeah. Yeah, Rival is very hard for Torterra, which is why I think grass types get a bad rap. They're always going to have Rayquaza at 145 and 195. They're always going to have a flying type. Third of a chance for them to have a fire type starter, and there are times when their pseudo-legendary also shuts you down, whether it's like a Baxcalibur, or any number of things. A little bit copy. Super low speed. I don't love the type combination. Abilities, anticipation, or overcoat. It gets sturdy, I guess. Egg moves, fiery dance to set itself up. Defend order is kind of meh. Heal order, kind of meh. It does get sappy seed. It gets quiver dance at base, which is kind of neat, but you're starting with 59 special attack and 36 speed. It's good, but starting that low definitely takes away from it. Gets Bug Buzz and Psychic. But it's just like... This thing might honestly be one of the few C tier ground types. It's just... doesn't really do anything. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. It just doesn't really do much. Even at 2 points, there's way more 2-cost ones I want. The Mez Shell Smash Ice Cube? Oh, yeah. This thing might be like one of the few C tiers. With Leech Seed? Oh, yeah. I think it goes there. I don't know why you would use it. I just don't think it's good. Even if these 4 here are C tier, they still go above this. However, we're going to talk about something that is not C tier. Where is it? There it is. This little guy. Accidentally? I'm sorry. First of all, water ground typing is good. Good HP, good special attack. Defense is a little low, but not awful. Special defense is probably average. Super low speed. Does it matter? I'm doing this Gastrodon. There we go. Anyway. I like this shiny. I want to get to tier 3. Anyway. Stats are... Oops. Stats are fine. Definitely usable. I need to stop doing that. Dear God. However, it gets Storm Drain and Regenerator. Storm Drain and Regenerator are both really good abilities. Especially on like a Mon kind of as defensive as this. It gets Bouncy Bubble to heal itself more. Scorching Sands. Freeze Dry is arguably the best special type ice move in the game. I honestly don't care that much about Steam Eruption, but it's good. These are really nice to have. Stab, stab, amazing coverage. And you get in here, you get Recover at level 1, which is great. You can also take Body Slam if you want to try to lock things down with Paralysis. Earth Power if you don't have Scorching Sands. Yep. You become pretty bulky because, like, you're water ground type. Storm Drain, if you do get hit, just swap out. It only costs 3, and I think that is an absolute steal for this thing. The biggest thing is, does it output enough damage? I think it might. Because, like, 92 special attack is fine. You get Scald through TM2, which is actually kind of nice. You don't get Nasty Plot. Do you get Hulk? get Calm Mind, but... Oh, see, I'm not sure it's S tier. It's definitely A tier. Like, can you say it's better than Gastrodon? True. Well, then again, I can't say it's worse than Swampert. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't consider those. Yeah, especially at 3. And with those egg moves and recover at level 1. Yeah. And as you guys said, the typing's insane. It's everything at least neutrally. Has recover. Body slam if you want to fill in the gaps. Regenerate from it, yeah. Alright, you guys convinced me. That's why you're here. Let me know whenever I'm going to make a mistake. Let's talk about everybody's favorite PTSD nightmare. This guy. He is 4 points. Little bit of a late evolution, but, those are some pretty nice stats. Good speed, great attack, good hit points, solid defenses. And I hope no champion ever uses this Pokemon. It could be a pain to try to get rid of. Can you imagine something that fast hitting that hard? Sandvale, Arena Trap. Sandvale is scary. Rough Skin can also be, but like its abilities aren't insane. Sandvale is insane in the right conditions. In general, these aren't insane, but again, you have those stats. Meteor Mash, Bitter Blade, Land's Wrath, and it gets Dragon Dance. Hey, Shannon, what's going on? Yes, it would be a nightmare. I'm glad no champion ever had to use it. I definitely didn't lose to it multiple times in any game. Dragon Dance as an egg move is insane. This coverage is insane, and it heals itself. This hits ice types and fairy types. Probably. Crunch is good. Even Dual Chop is usable. Bulldoze, I mean, look at just... This thing's a menace. Even its TMs are pretty good. It can get Swords Dance in here if it doesn't have Dragon Dance. Stopping Tantrum. You can make it a bulky lead. I don't think that's good in Pokerogue. But you could do like Rough Skin with Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks are good in Pokerogue. It's Iron Head for fairies and ice types if you don't have Meteor Mash. And then we get into this. Slows down a little bit. Gets way more attack. More bulk. Star. Oh, fair. Yeah, I forgot about Intimidate in Diamond and Pearl. Loses some speed, which definitely hurts, but again, you have Dragon Dance and 170 base attack. Sand Force and Sand Rush, if you do have Sand Up from like a Tyranitar or anything else that has a couple of Mystical Rocks on it, then all of a sudden the 92 base speed doesn't matter and you're hitting like a truck. This thing does become scary, especially because you can have more than one Mega on your team. You combine it with all this stuff too, you almost don't need Dragon Dance at that point because, again, comes from Electros. Even that Spiritomb was tough to deal with at times. Yeah. This thing is terrifying. Even at 4 points, I think just out of the gate, I think you could probably put this thing S tier. It's like S tier or here. But I think its speed and how hard it gets is the coverage it can get, and it can get Dragon Dance. Like, it just evolves a little bit late. So maybe like here. You really want the rare egg move, which is like the biggest thing on this. Maybe there. The thing's still a monster. Yeah. I could see the case for above Shellos and like in A tier both. But I think the fact it gets Dragon Dance makes a pretty big difference. I imagine it gets it. Doesn't get it through TM, so that's really what you want. But even without that, you get Swords Dance. Yeah, I'm gonna put it there. I think that's solid for it. Speaking of Sand Setters, this guy is 3 points. Base stats, alright, good HP, good defense. Low, like below average special defense, but with 108 HP, that's fine. Good attack. Speed is just super low. However, Sandstream is going to be really nice. Unaware also has its uses. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Sandstream and Sand Force, but just having something that can set up a weather when it enters is really nice. Almost even if you don't have anything else on your team to take advantage of, because it gets rid of weather that's already there. Volcano, seabed, stuff like that, just being able to get rid of it's kind of helpful. It's a little more disruptive than Sun or Rain because it does do chip damage to your team that aren't Steel, Rock, or Ground types. Hatful. Rogue Emerald or Pokerogue? Shore Up is good. Stone Axe, I love this move. I will keep saying it. Bulk Up to set itself up. And it gets Salt Cure. I actually didn't know that. That's kind of insane. Pokerogue. These are good egg moves. I don't care as much about Bulk Up, but Shore Up, Stone Axe, and Salt Cure. Those are all really nice. It gets all the Fang moves and Yawn as well. Earthquake, Slack Off. The fact it gets Slack Off and Shore Up. Scared for your wallet. Oh, yeah. It does chip you down like that. One of those things I think is scarier to face than it is to use. Because this thing doesn't have a way to boost its own speed. Getting all the Fang moves and Yawn is nice. Plus the Sandstorm, Hazards, and Salt Cure. The thing's actually kind of scary. I might have to use this more. It is 3 points, but getting Salt Cure makes a big difference. Here? Like, it's a terrifying lead, actually. Almost even if you don't have things that want the sand. But you still have Salt Cure and Stone Axe. Like, off the rip. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it there. Maybe even here. Let's do that. Yeah, I'm going to go there. I might have to use that thing more. Unfortunately, I already have all the egg moves in its current shiny variants. So I don't really have a huge way to grind for it. Or huge reason to grind for it at the moment. Just, let's get that over with. Drillbur goes there. Drillbur is just right there. Yo, cool cat. You made it for Drillbur. Good typing, high HP, high attack, usable speed, Sand Rush or Sand Force, or even Mold Breaker, and it gets Sturdy as a passive. Maybe Kaskin? Like, these are great, even if you don't have Sand, Mold Breaker's there, but, like, these are both insane. It gets Shift Gear, which is one of the best, if not the best, physical setup moves in the game. Ice Spinner to hit a lot of the big threats. Meteor Mash and 1,000 Arrows as a spread move. You give me this as a set, I am happy as shit. Horn Drill, but, like, even then, you have, like, Hone Claws, which is fine. Metal Claw is good. Rock Slide is good. You get Swords Dance through level up and Drill Run. Earthquake, like... This thing is absolutely bonkers, especially in Pokerogue. And, like, its big egg moves you want are all common. Shift Gear being a common egg move on this thing is disgusting. And you have Sturdy. This thing costs 4, and I think even at 5, it's S tier. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's insane that you got that. Yeah, one Shift Gear and you're off to the races, especially with that coverage. You could even put, like, something on it besides Meteor Mash if you wanted, but with that coverage, like, what's going to stop you? Because, like, even if there's something with Sturdy, like, you might have Sturdy yourself, so it's not like they can return kill you. It's nutty. It's so good. Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Before we get to them... We have... Actually, one of my favorite water ground types. Right up there with Shellos. There it is. Oh, it's even, Pokerogue today. This guy. Pretty average stats. Like, good attack, good HP, everything else. It gets Water Absorb and Poison Heal. Like, Water Absorb and Poison Heal are both really good abilities. You eliminate... Like, you give yourself an immunity. You give yourself immunity to status moves, and you heal off of it. Yeah. And in case you did need defensive coverage on Extra Drill, it has Sturdy. That's why I didn't spend that much time on it. It's insane. Water Absorb and Poison Heal are absolutely insane. Gets Jet Punch, High Horsepower, Bulk Up, and Surging Strikes. I was using this thing a couple days ago as, I forget why. But it's still really, really good. Not really, really good. It's still good. It can definitely do a lot. It's tough to remove at times. It's only 3 points. It gets Drain Punch, which I love. It is discount Gastrodon. It's more offensive physical Gastrodon. It's discount in terms of quality, not cost. But it gets that. It gets Drain Punch, which I love. I love those types of moves. It doesn't really get any other good physical moves, is the thing, which is why you want some of the egg moves. Sets itself up with Bulk Up. Doesn't get Sword Stance. But I think with Water Absorb and Poison Heal, I think this thing's like right in here. It is, like, it's another water ground type, which is good coverage. I think it's like anywhere along these three. I might put it here just because Hippowdon only costs 2. That's interesting. Yeah, I think it's right in here. I really like this guy. Poison Heal is a great ability. Water Absorb's a great ability. It needs Bulk Up to set up, but I think right there is probably fine. Yeah, I think it is really good. We got this guy. And then after this one, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to stretch my legs again. We don't have that many left after this. We probably have like 15 or so. We'll see. This guy costs 4, and there's a good reason for it. Those are pretty good stats. 92 speed's usable, 95 HP is nice, 117 attack is great. Even defense and special defense are usable to slightly below average, but not awful. This thing gets Moxie. That's it. This thing gets Moxie. And Tough Claws. Moxie is so incredibly good. Yeah. Even if you don't have Moxie unlocked, like, even Intimidate is good. But Moxie is one of the best abilities in the game. Absolutely one of the best abilities in the game. Anything that boosts your stats for doing, just by KOing things, is great. Its egg moves are good too. Dire Claw, I love. Sucker Punch with a couple Moxie boosts or to get it going off. Yeah. I don't know why you'd only have Anger Point, because it's hidden, but yeah. Sucker Punch to either trigger Moxie or to take advantage of it. Fire Lash for a little bit of coverage, I guess. Or Headlong Rush to hit like a truck with Moxie. All of these egg moves are good. It sets itself up. It could use like a little bit of speed help. Foul Play is surprisingly good as well. It gets Earthquake. I had a run in Emerald Rogue 1 where I had a Moxie Crocodile. I just spammed Earthquake, KO'd all 3 other Pokemon, and then just sent out more fodder. Lots of fun. These are good. Like, even Power Trip with Moxie's fine. Doesn't have a way to boost its speed, and that's kind of its big thing, but it does get Sucker Punch. And like 92 base speed, which is usable. A couple Carbos, or a Quick Claw or 2, or a, what is it, Salic Berry? That speed? Yeah. Yeah. This thing's great. At 4 points, but with Moxie, with Tough Claws, this thing is definite A tier. I think it goes here. I think this thing is really, really good. I could even see this. As much as I love Flygon, I think that's actually better. It's just, its abilities are good, its egg moves are all good. It's usable pretty much no matter what. I think it's just so, so good, especially in Pokerogue. I would take a break there. Before we move on, I'll try to finish all of them. Yeah, maybe we'll push through and try to finish all of them before before I have to take another break. Back a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out so far today, guys. Again, I do these every Monday. If you are interested in seeing more types, next week we will be doing rock types. There's gonna be a lot of overlap. Just as a heads up. See everyone soon.
It's over, same story. You lose till You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along. A silent serenade. You're ringing out your prey. Your love's a wreck and you know it's wrong. It's over. Same story. You lose to love and glory. It's over. Same story. You lose to love and glory. I send flames, call my name. I freeze, I burn, I blame. I love, I hate the same. It's on my face, I cannot hide from the mistake my parents made. I'm never moving on. Not made from love, a remnant of a selfish motive. Was I needed? Do I need it to go wrong? Polarized, inherent pain, pumping through my veins. Eyes in flames, call my name. I freeze, I burn, I blame. I love, I hate the same. I embrace the side of me, I only fuel the fire. But is it wrong for me to fight against the balance of my power? History in halves, one brain. I will break the chain. Oh no, tokori wa yobu. Moeru rame koru to boku no ai to kirai ni iru. Oh no, tokori wa yobu. Moeru rame koru to boku no ai to kirai ni iru. I love.
Alright, thanks for sticking around, guys. Let's see if we can knock out the rest of these. Next up, we have one of the masks. Where's Ghost? There we go. I think it's this guy. Yeah. Runerigus. Base stats, really good defense. It's just the 58 hit points. Why? Really low speed. 95 attack is actually more than I expect usually. Wandering Spirit is kind of meh. Tablets of Ruin is a really cool ability. You're already physically bulky, but it lets you be bulkier. Excuse me. Strength Sap is really good on a defensive mon. Dire Claw, really good, and ooh, excuse me, chance to apply stats conditions. 1000 Waves, good spread move, and again, you have 95 base attack. Spectral Thief goes crazy. This move can be so nutty. It just, you could do so much just crazy things with this move. Shadow Claw at base is good. What I want to look for is, does this thing get Power Trip? Not Power Split, Power Trip. Also gets Curse. That's notable on a Ghost type because of Eternatus. Does not get Power Trip. Just, yeah, exactly. And I don't think it's that good in general in Pokerogue. Power Trip and we're not going to store power. Doesn't get Power Trip, unfortunately, but this thing can still be a really big impediment to physical attackers. Again, you have that. You have Tablets of Ruin, Strength Sap, and Spectral Thief. Like, this thing can be so tough to remove, even for special attackers, because, I mean, 105 special defense. This thing costs 3. Its offensive pressure isn't the best, but it can still do stuff, especially if it starts getting Spectral Thief stealing stuff. There is some cool stuff in here. Earthquake and Shadow Claw being the biggest two. Curse for bosses. Honestly, at 3, I'd probably put this thing, like, in here. Again, it's just so tough to get rid of. I'd have to use it more. If I use it more, I could see myself moving it up to A tier, potentially. It just needs some egg moves. Actually, no, it's better than Seismitoad. Yeah, it's here. Like, all of these are, like, fairly interchangeable to me, I think. Yeah, no. Those stats, those egg moves, and just the general role of it, I think, is really good. And it has some utility against bosses with Curse. You're going to have to Memory Mushroom it on, but you'll be able to buy them from the shop at that point. Alright, Stunfisks. Talk about Pokemon I really don't like to face, but I really don't want to use either. This one is this Stunfisk. High HP, good special defense, usable special attack, really low speed. Ground Electric type is interesting, I guess. Static, I don't care about. Limber, I really don't care about because you're an electric type. Sandville, Storm Drain's pretty cool, though. That's a good ability. Egg moves, Thunderclap is a good ability. Sandsteer Storm, Strength Sap on something, like, fairly bulky is always nice. I know Copy's a big fan of just Strength Sap on stuff like that. Thunder Cage, also pretty interesting. Not crazy about having 2 electric type moves on this Pokemon. Thunderclap as well. Yeah. Like, if I'm going to take Thunderclap, I want a setup move, and it doesn't have it. I mean, I could see it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Stunfisk either. Especially this one. It just... It doesn't do anything. Like, it doesn't even have Snap Trap. Water Absorb is fine, but yeah, there's just... It's 3 as well. Its stats are fine, it's just slow. Its egg moves aren't insane. And your Thunderclap is scary, but you're not boosting yourself in any way to make it even scarier. Like what Raging Bolt did for a while with Calm Mind Thunderclap. Thunder Cage, you keep them in there, but like... I think at 3 this thing's not good. I think maybe there. I don't think it's C tier because its stats are good enough. Thunderclap is good. Man, gets Sucker Punch, but... Man, looking at its moveset isn't even that good either. You don't even get Nasty Plot? Yeah. You don't even get Calm Mind. No, I don't even think this thing's that high. At 3, I'm going to put it there. I don't think it's good. Yeah. However, Galarian at least has slightly more interesting. Ground Steel is interesting. Once fucked. They forgot to get Sucker Punch. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, you can't really do that to AIs. This thing's more like HP, defense, a little bit of special defense. I think this thing's slightly bulkier in general. 81 attack is usable, 32 speed. Mimicry is weird. It's like shittier Protean. Arena Trap as a passive, I get. I don't care. Again, it's a lore ability. It has a little bit of use on this guy. 1,000 arrows hitting flying types is cool. Double Iron Bash is good. Strength Sap is good. Like, these are good moves. I don't care as much about Spiky Shield. You get Snap Trap. That's one reason Arena Trap is really good. You just lock them in place with Snap Trap, do damage over time. Doesn't get Leech Seed, though. Doesn't get Sappy Seed. Like, there's nothing else to really take advantage of it. Sucker Punch, good as well. This thing costs 2? But the other one costs 3? I don't get it. I think this thing is significantly better. And, like, I'd even put it here. I think at 2, it does a little bit more, has better egg moves, has at least a small niche in trapping things. Yeah. Yeah, it would. It kind of has a dead ability. Like, its ability, in fact, it's its only ability, and then its passive is niche, isn't great. But I think at 2 and with the other tools it has, I think it gets it up into B tier. Alright, Golett. This thing only costs 3. Ghost Ground type, I love. High attack. Good HP. Usable defense and special defense. Lower speed. Iron Fist or No Guard, and it has Shadow Shield. Those are pretty good options. Iron Fist with that much attack, or just like No Guard. No Guard is also a lore ability, just as a heads up. Shadow Shield is really good. Shift Gear, we talked about. One of, if not the best, physical setup moves in the game. Drain Punch to get all your health back, combined with the Fist. Headlong Rush, super strong. And Stab. And Rage Fist. +2 with 55 base speed, you're all of a sudden looking pretty fast. I don't get much the point of No Guard in here. High Horsepower and Shadow Punch are both good. Curse has some utility against Eternus if you want to. Stomping Tantrum if you want to move on from that, but even then I'd almost prefer High Horsepower. Don't care about Shadow Ball. Heavy Slam a little bit. Gets Earthquake. Dynamic Punch I don't care about. This thing's pretty good. Yeah, for Dynamic Punch, but like, I think I'd rather have Iron Fist over Dynamic Punch. Just kind of in general. This thing's only 3. This thing's A tier. It might be S tier. Yeah. Like, Shift Gear, without Shift Gear, this thing would not be S tier. I'm putting that out there now. Yeah, without Shift Gear, this thing would be significantly lower, but with it, these stats, This one is tough. Where would you put it in S tier Caskian, and where would you put it in A tier copy? I'll let you guys fight it out real quick. Helps if I unmute my mic. Okay, so under Gastrodon over Garchomp, you think Garchomp is strong? Yeah, it gets Drain Punch. Yep. Yeah, because it combines with Shadow Shield. You guys are thinking in here somewhere? Let's put it there. The fact that it's only 3 is kind of ridiculous. Those egg moves are insane. Its abilities are good. Like, it just does a lot. Yeah. Alright. This guy is 7. So you have this. Or... why can I not change the form? I'll have to go... oh, I have to go into there. Alright, this guy's 7. These stats at base... mixed attacker, but good speed, high attack, solid stats across the board. Get Sand Force or Sheer Force and Storm Drain as a passive, which is really, really good. If you don't have Sand, you can set up Sheer Force and Storm Drain, which will be super solid. Stone Axe, I love. I'm just gonna keep saying it. Floaty Fall is great. Roost is good. Bleak Windstorm, if you have Rain. It cheated itself at hitting a... there you go. Yep, that works. And then you have Therian Form. Oops. I think that's higher attack, slightly lower speed. Yeah, higher attack, lower speed. With Intimidate and Storm Drain. So you're trading some speed for more attack. And you're trading Sheer Force for Intimidate. Still good egg moves. Level moves are pretty good. It's good typing as well. We talked about it on Gliscor. Rock Slide, Earth Power, I don't care about like these two. Stone Edge, hopefully you have Stone Axe. Gets Earthquake though. There's your Storm. I'm not crazy about getting a Storm move as your rare egg move on this guy. I get it, I'm not crazy about it. I think honestly I'd rather have Sheer Force than Intimidate, but both are really good. I think this is good, but for 7, I don't think... oops. Yeah, you need to find a TM to get to set yourself up as well. Honestly, I think for 7, this goes like here. I don't play enough TCG to know. I really haven't played TCG in probably 20 years. Yeah, I mean, it's a 5 cost. Not 4, but yeah. He's good out of the gate. You don't really need anything on him. He's just kind of solid for a little bit. Alright, where is it? I forget what generation it is. Here we go. This guy, we talked about a little bit in our normal type. Oh, yeah. Yep. Average stats, maybe slightly below average. Cheek pouch, it does get huge power though, and thick fat. Also gets pickup. So you could go something like pretty bulky actually. Not pretty bulky, but somewhat bulky with cheek pouch and thick fat. Huge power though, takes the 56 attack and makes it 112, which is good. This thing costs 3, just as a heads up. Egg moves, Drain Punch, cool. Tidy Up, helps your speed a little bit. Land's Wrath is a solid spread move. You also get Stab. Extreme Speed, good. Like, Extreme Speed with Stab, you have a little bit of setup here. Combined with Huge Power. In here, there's not much, like, crazy stuff, Earthquake that you kind of expect. You do get Sword Stance. So if you are going Extreme Speed, you could just go Sword Stance instead of Tidy Up. And then you'll really start hitting hard. I don't think there's a lot to say about this. I think in general, it's fine. I'd probably put it like in here for 3. I think it's fine. Maybe even like 1 more. Thing is, like, for it to really take off, you want its rare egg move, which is why it's probably not a little bit higher. I think if you don't have huge power, there are so many other better options at that price point. Yeah. Yeah, probably not a ton, but yeah. Probably not a ton. Now we get this guy. Zygarde costs 8. Oh, they changed his egg moves. He used to get double Iron Bash. Well, you got different forms if you want them. You have this form. That form. I don't have the other form yet. Alright. I'll have to get it at some point. These are good stats, like, across the board. Good HP, good attack, pretty good, like, really good defense. Definitely solid special defense, good speed. Without double Iron Bash, I don't think so. I'm going to go back over it. I definitely had it solo with its old egg moves. This thing soloed a ton for me. Gets Power Construct. Or Unnerve. Unnerve is really good. Dragon Darts is good. V-Create is a mixed bag. Clangorous Soul. Somewhat. And Heal Order. Man, I really don't like these new egg moves. I think they're good, but not crazy. Like, 5 power points, 5 power points, 5 power points. Dragon Darts is really good. I think this thing used to get, like, triple arrows and double Iron Bash in addition to Dragon Darts. Oh, no, it starts out with them. Okay. Or 1,000 arrows is what I meant, not triple arrows. These are still great, and it gets Core Enforcer at 1. Like, all 3 of these are insane. Off the bat. It's really good start. You get Land's Wrath later on, and Glare, Coil, Earthquake, Outrage. Man, they really gutted this thing. I think at 8, it's not great. I mean, I could probably... I can't... Okay. I mean, that's really, really good. Did it just change? Well, this thing has Moxie in this form, but, like, loses a lot of BST. There's power. Alright, that's weird. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could try to trigger that with Clangorous Soul is what they're going for. If you can, yeah. But at 8? Like, 8 is a lot, and you need to have that form. And it's harder to do consistently if you don't have Clangorous Soul. Like, honestly, like, here? Maybe. I don't think it's better than Landorus now. Maybe it's better than Torterra. I could also see Torterra going there. Man, they really... Like, this thing was easy S tier for me with its old egg moves. This thing was easy S tier for me. I think I'd prefer Landorus. It's a point cheaper. Because I didn't... Yeah, there's no... I feel like it used to get Dragon Dance as well. I'm sure I can get in here. Yeah. What do you guys think of that? Oh, hold on 1 second. Yeah, I think there, just 8 is pretty expensive. I don't like its egg moves now. Like, even if I, like, take away how much I loved its old egg moves, I'm not crazy about V-Create and Heal Order. Makes sense as an egg move, but as a rare egg move for a legendary, feels kind of meh. We're gonna put it there. I like this guy. He is 3 points. The original stamina user. Good HP. Good attack, actually. Good defense. Usable special defense. Speed is super low. We've seen this stat spread before. On tempo, but there's stamina. I don't care about this. It gets Sap Sipper, which is really good on a ground type. This is pure ground type as well. Sap Sipper makes it even better, and it heals it. Or, no, sorry, it gives it more attack. Heals it, but still really good. Gives you immunity. Body Press goes to stamina. Yawn, great. Shore Up to heal yourself. 1,000 waves. Not a ton of coverage in here outside of this. Like, I'm glad he gets this. It's just, what does he do? Like, ground types already cover everything Body Press wants to hit except for normal types. And I guess dark types. But even then, you hit them neutrally. This is still really good on him because, obviously, stamina. You start off with 100 base defense. Get Earthquake. You do get Heavy Slam, which is good. High horsepower. And you get Iron Defense as well if you really want to go into that. Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. So this thing can just become a Body Press machine with a Grass type immunity and ground coverage, which again is really good in Pokerogue. I don't think... Oh, man. I don't think this is A tier. I think it's just slightly too slow. But I think it might actually go right here. It is real, like, I could definitely see the case for A tier. I could actually see the case for, like, switching Onyx in this. Yeah, I don't think I'm disappointed by the top of A or B tier. Again, it's the 35 speed that really, really brings it down. Doesn't even get like Automatize. Or shift gear. Yeah, I think top of A or top of B tier. Sap Sipper definitely makes a difference. Palisand. Usable HP, fine attack, you're not worried about that. Good defense, good special attack, definitely usable special defense, low speed. Water Compaction isn't an immunity, but it's still interesting. However, you have Sandville, and then you have Sand Spit as an ability, which is really, really good. These two in combination can make this thing a really pain to try to remove. It gets Bitter Malice to lower their attack stat even more, and its stab. Splishy Splash paralyzes things to lock them down. Take Heart, it's Calm Mind. Salt Cure, really good ability, but really only uses against bosses. However, you do have ways to like really boost your defense to make it tough to get rid of you. You get Mega Drain, which you're probably not that concerned about. Shadow Ball, Earth Power, good stab moves, and you get Shore Up at like just by leveling up. These three alone make it pretty solid. Add in some stuff in here, you're looking really good. I like this Pokemon. I think it's pretty good. It can be tough to remove with, again, the Sand Veil and Sand Spit, and you have 100 base attack, special attack. I think I'd put it here, maybe? Yeah, I think probably there. Again, it'd be really tough to remove at times. And it can set itself up. It's not like it relies on other people to set up the sand. Yeah, I think this thing is just solid. Sorry, I'm checking something real quick. Okay. Yeah, we're going to put it in A tier, but it's also a special attacker instead of physical attacker, which gets bonus points. Speaking of Sand Spitters, this might have been the original one. Sandaconda, don't lie. HP is a little low, special defense is a little low, but really good defense, good attack. Average speed, a little bit less than average speed. Sand Spit or Shed Skin, and to get Sand Veil, Sand Rush as a ability. So Sand Spit plus Sand Rush fixes your speed. You still have high attack. Too bad you can't get like Sand Veil and Sand Spit, but this is still really good. If you have other things to set up Sand for you, Sand Veil is good. You could just go Sand Veil, Sand Rush. Egg moves, Shore Up to heal yourself. Shed Tail. Not as crazy about it on this thing. Mountain Gale is good. Thousand Arrows is good. These are all fine. I'm not crazy about Shed Tail on this. It doesn't have Regenerator. And it doesn't come in with Sandstream. The only way for it to set up, it has to get hit first. Thousand Arrows is good. Mountain Gale is really, really good. This thing is 3 points as well. You get Wrap, you get Glare. Yeah, Glare is really, really good. Just a solid, guaranteed status condition. They have to use a Lumberry to get off. Coil, if you do want to set yourself up, it's not insane, but it does kind of boost what you're already good at. If you have Sand Veil, you're probably going to have more time to do it. In general, this level up set outside of Glare is kind of a, who cares? So you are going to want some egg moves. You don't even get Sword Stance. Scorching Sands is a special move, right? Yeah. This thing, I think, is kind of held back by its moveset, or else you need TMs to really kind of pull it all together. Even in here, Mountain Gale and Triple, or Thousand Arrows is really good. But I think without, like, a more diverse moveset, it struggles a little bit. You do have a G-Max, though. Your attack goes up, your defense goes up, everything else gets a very slight boost. Abilities is now Sand Spit and Sand Rush, which you're probably running anyway. I don't think the G-Max does much for it. You get 30 attack, a little bit of speed, a little bit of special defense, and like a decent chunk of defense. But like your abilities are probably staying roughly the same. I think at 3, this thing probably goes like here. It's a lack of coverage outside of TMs kind of hurts it. I think I'd rather have Hippowd on it too. All right. Now we got this guy. Here we go. This thing is scary. I think this thing goes S tier. It's a little slow, but I mean, tons of HP, really good attack, like really good attack. You get Guts and Thick Fat. This thing was one of my S tiers on the normal type. Mountain Gale, you get Fake Out and Precipice. Like, all of these are insane. Yeah. No, it is. It's just where. Like, honestly, I might put it, like, here or here. This thing is really, really good. Again, its speed hurts a little bit, and that's the biggest deal to it. But, I mean, Headlong Rush, high horsepower, gets Headlong Rush at base, yeah. Yeah. And Facade, right, I forgot about that. Do you need a TM for Facade? Looks like it. Yeah. No, this thing's really good. Yeah, this thing's outstanding. That's so crazy. With this many S tiers, I'm moving Swampert down. Because we have at least one more S tier, in my opinion. Now, that thing's crazy. Next up, we have Toadscool. Yeah. I figured that was probably going to happen, but... Yeah, we still have this many ground... I guess we've gone through some of these. You know what? Let's just do Blood Moon or Ursaluna now. Really good HP, really good defense, super high special attack. Mind's Eye and Berserk are nutty abilities. It gets Nasty Plot and Rock Polish. Like, all of these are insane. Level moves, like, you don't need Headlong Rush. You don't get that much through level up. You do need egg moves. You do get Earth Power, though, and Blood Moon. Which, okay, fine. You're already crazy if you have these two. I think this thing goes here. I think this thing is absolutely nutty after a nasty plot. Like, Berserk also really helps. Mind's Eye, you're not gonna, like, miss because of evasion stuff. These are crazy egg moves. I think this thing's just nutty. Oh, yeah, and it gets Moonblast. I forgot about that as coverage. I think this thing's insane as well. It costs 5, but, like... It is the strongest offensive ground special attacker. I think really, really good. Yeah. I think it doesn't get Guts Facade, which is why regular Ursaluna probably overtakes it, but... Yeah. Yep. Except Moonblast is 100% accurate. Play Rough isn't. Yeah. If this thing got Flare Boost, it'd be insane. And then we only have like 6 left. Let's do this guy. This guy costs 3. Back to another ground grass type. Good special defense, surprisingly good speed. Everything else is usable. Yeah, exactly. Massilia might sucks. It's just not great. Prankster, I guess Prankster overrides it, so there you go. Egg move Straight Sap is good. Topsy-Turvy's interesting. Sappy Seed, I don't quite understand Tail Glow on this thing. I get it from a design perspective, but like, your only egg move is physical, and then you get Tail Glow. I mean, I guess getting Spore is really nice. Yeah, Spore is really, really nice. Hex is good coverage. Alright, so you have Giga Drain, Earth Power, Spore. You have options for this. It just feels like it's getting pulled in a couple different directions. And again, I don't love grass typing in this game. Sappy Seed is nice. Tail Glow gives it options, especially... It doesn't get Baton Pass, though. Prankster Spore is incredible, though. Prankster Spore might put this thing here. It's just, I don't love the typing. The Prankster Spore and, like, Prankster Strength Sap, I think is pretty good. You don't even have to run Tail Glow. You go, like, Spore, Strength Sap, Sappy Seed, and Earth Power. You're going to be in a pretty good position. You think so? Even in Pokerogue? I don't think it's S tier. I don't think it does, like, I don't think this thing solo carries for S tier. I don't think it's good enough. Like, I don't think it puts off enough offensive pressure for S. So you're saying put it, like, here? Because, like, you do need the passive for it. And I don't think grass typing is good in Pokerogue. Yeah. I'll put it there. Yeah, I just don't think it puts on enough offensive pressure to justify putting it too much higher. You look at everything above it, and everything above it at least threatens offensive pressure, even Sandygast. I think Sandygast is a lot better defensively, too. It's not quite with utility. Even then, it has Sandvale and Straight Sap as well. We'll put it there. Great Tusk. Great Tusk is 7. Really solid stats. We've seen this spread before. The big thing here is like 87 is pretty usable. Photosynthesis, usually not a big issue. Intimidate is good. Stone Axe, I love. Morning Sun, Collision Course. I don't love this thing at 7. I just don't feel like it does quite enough at 7. It's still really good. Headlong Rush is really good later on. Close Combat is good stab. Earthquake knockoff. Like, it gets stuff in here. Brick, like, these are all good coverage that you can spam. Even Bulldoze is early on. It's just... Yo, Great Tusk design is insane. Like, I love that, for sure. I'm just not crazy about it being at 7. Stone Axe is good. I love Stone Axe. But Stone Axe and Collision Course, like, Stone Axe is inaccurate. Collision Course only has 5 power points. Makes them tough to spam early. And then you have Horn Attack until 7, where you get Bulldoze. I think this thing is A tier, but, like, it gets Shift Gear later on, which is really good. Like, that's its rare egg move. Shift Gear is really, really good. I think at 7 it goes like here, maybe even here. I think 7 is just slightly too much for it. I guess if you had Shift Gear, it'd go here. Maybe even here. Yeah, let's assume you have Shift Gear. Okay, yeah, Shift Gear with ground typing and that type of coverage, it'll one-shot a lot of stuff. Okay, yeah, let's put it there. Yeah, I think with Shift Gear goes there. Even at 7. Sandy Shocks. Good special attack. It's fast. And, like, I like the typing-ish on this, at least. I don't like it on Stunfisk, but on an attacking mod, I think it's pretty good. Average defensive stats to slightly above average if you look at defense. Photosynthesis, but then it sets up its own electric terrain, so it automatically boosts itself, which is outstanding. Ice Beam and Nasty Plot as egg moves and Thunderclap are outstanding. Like, Ice Beam is really, really good. Any ice coverage is good in this game. Nasty Plot to set yourself up, plus the boost you're getting from Electric Surge. Thunderclap 2 for priority. Zap Cannon I don't care about, but you get Earth Power through leveling up. You give me Ice Beam, Thunderclap, Nasty Plot, and Earth Power, I'm pretty happy. Thunder Wave early on to lock things down if you want. I don't care about Bulldoze. Try Attack, eh. Discharge as well later on. This thing's only 6. I think with, was that 101 base speed? I think I could honestly see myself putting it here. Nasty Plot plus Ice Beam is a really, really good combination on a fast special attacker. You're not going to get shut down by Intimidate. You don't have to worry about having the ice typing. And your typing in general is not bad either. I think I put it there. I've used Sandy Shocks and really been impressed by it. I think we only have 2 left. Yeah, we only have 2 left. Iron Treads. I still need something for it. Okay. This thing costs 6. Steel ground instead of ground fighting, like Iron Treads or Iron Tusk was. Lower hit points. It's a little bit faster though. It gets Dauntless Shield, which is interesting. I think I might prefer it over Intimidate if it gets Body Press. Fusion Bolt, only 5 power points. Shift Gear, Shore Up. Again, Shift Gear is amazing for physical attackers. Sunsteel Strike is outstanding. But again, it's only 2 offensive egg moves are 5 power points. And that's a bit of an issue. Starts out with Horn Attack. Roll out. It is more expensive, and like it's not even as fast. Its attack isn't, or its attack isn't as good. It doesn't have as good of egg moves. It's a little bit faster, but it doesn't get Sand Rush. It starts out with Horn Attack and Rollout, which is a little awkward if you don't have any egg moves. Again, its only egg move is 5 power points, unless you happen to get the rare, which is also 5. So it's a little slow to start as well. You don't get Iron Head, like you don't get your first stab until level 28. Which is a little bit rough. Again, Stomping Tantrum, Knockoff, Earthquake, really good. Even Heavy Slam, you know, get Stab on it. Wild Charge for coverage if you want it. Steel Roller, I'm not crazy about. It is, but you're paying you're paying 50% more points. Without the flexibility either. I don't think this thing is S tier. I'd honestly put it like in here. Maybe right here. It's just a little bit clunky to use. I'm not in love with its egg moves. It doesn't have a way to super effectively hit Rayquaza. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have a way to super effectively hit Rayquaza. Yeah, it's in here. Great Tusk did have more offensive pressure. Yeah. I do... How much was Great Tusk? Great Tusk was 7, though. I'm going to do this. Yeah. I'm going to do that. Yeah. Alright, last one. It's Ting-Lu, who got lost. He's down there because I reset. I love this guy. He costs 6. Base stats, really high hit points, really good defense, good attack, usable special defense, super low speed. Vessel of Ruin lowers their special attack, so that's not that much of an issue, and it gets stamina. It gets Shore Up, Ceaseless Edge, Sappy Seed, and Precipice Blades. These are all really good. Set up hazards for yourself at stab. Sappy Seed, heal yourself. Precipice Blades, stab. Shore Up to heal yourself more if you want. Throat Chop is good. Rock Slide is good. Earthquake is good. Ruination is good. Stomping Tantrum is good. This thing can be such a pain to remove. It does get Body Press. In case you want to go that way. But you figure you have 3 spikes out. You have Sappy Seed healing you. Shore Up. Any sort of healing item. This thing is such a pain to remove, especially once it starts getting stamina boosts. I love this thing. I think it's really good. I think it can solo the game with a couple egg moves. Pretty easily. I'd honestly put it here. If not here. I think this thing is really, really good. You just want a couple of its egg moves and its passives. But I think this thing is outstanding. It's not the fastest thing in order to clear the game, but it's pretty reliable in general. Like, my biased self wants to put it in S. I think 4-6, it's like 4-6 points, it's better there. I do think it's better than Groudon for the price. Yeah. I can't put Gastrodon over Ursaluna. I think I can put it over Blood Moon or Ursaluna, but I can't put it over Ursaluna. You know what? I would rather have the ice typing. Only here because of Simple Dragon Dance, but man, what a good trick to have. I'm going to switch these just because of the typing. I think this is pretty solid. Gastrodon? No, like, they're really close, but I think Ursaluna just tears, like... For your more... I think Ursaluna gives you more bang for your buck. Yeah. I think they're interchangeable. Gastrodon does threaten Rayquaza more because of Ice Beam. Yeah. It does have, like, a decent amount of bulk, though. Oops. I had to like, special defense is a little bit, but like 105 defense, 130 HP. Yeah, no, it's definitely interchangeable. Like, these are loosely ordered. But I think it's Excadrill at number 1, these two at 2 and 3. I think 4, 5, and 6, however you want to order them. Then these are the top 3, however you want to order them. These two are probably pretty close. These two. These, you could all probably switch between, like, from Landorus down. Yeah. I think these are interchangeable. These are all probably interchangeable. These you could. As long as it lives. Yeah. You just have to be able not to get a status move and stuff like that. That way you can get recovers off. But no, I'm pretty happy with this tier list. This was actually harder than I thought it was going to be. There were some in here I wasn't quite sure where to put, but I thought this was going to be easier to do. Yes, you can. Yep. Now, I think I'd put it like this. I'm pretty happy with this. I don't think I'm ever going to want to have more than a half dozen in S tier. Even then, like, 6 is pushing it, but I don't think I can realistically put Garchomp down a tier. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I think it's pretty solid. Next week we have Rock. Okay. Gonna be a lot of overlap. There's going to be a lot of overlap, but we'll see. Thanks for your out today, guys. Again, I'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It is going to be tough. But, I mean, we've already done this, haven't done that, haven't done that. We've done that, haven't done that, done that. We actually haven't done a lot of these. We've done that. We haven't done a lot of these. We did Minior. We did Nihilego. Stack Attack is busted. Yeah. Shouldn't be that bad. There are. Yep. I'm going to guess we might not have more than 3 S tiers in Rock. That might be my guess. Maybe I'll be surprised looking through things, but that's going to be my guess, is we don't have more than 3 S tiers. Something can... Yeah, I mean, those stats are crazy. It gets contrary? Why? Alright, hold up. You don't fuckle with the Shuckle. I still need Epic Shiny Shuckle. I have all the egg moves on it. Anyway, we'll deal with it next week. Yeah. I'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll probably be doing Pokerogue. Maybe we'll be playing some Monster Train 2, because I'm really enjoying that game, even though I'm hot garbage at it. We'll see. If you have suggestions on what you want to see me play, let me know in Discord. Thank you again, everyone, hanging out, showing up to these tier lists. I'm really enjoying doing them. Appreciate having everyone here. I'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully see you there, too. Have a good one. Take care.